our monthly online training.
The GG is on.
This 51 is special in the sense that it concerns the Rotary Foundation. And I want to enjoin you to please sit down and learn from the knowledge our leaders have. One of them is PDG Jide Akeredolu. That is our district Rotary Foundation chair. And we have PAG Saheed Raheed, someone who is vast in accounting and packaging of program grants. I want to sincerely thank the district and the facilitator and all other committee members for putting this together. Because of network issue, I have to give this speech before I will be yanked off from the network. I'm currently in Ghana, Accra, but the network here has been so bad that one has to quickly speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, our district governor. We appreciate you. May God continue to strengthen you as you lead us this Rotary year, which we've been asked to use the magic of Rotary. Without wasting much of our time, I would now like to invite our chairman of the Rotary Foundation Committee in our district, River Past District Governor Jide Akeredolu, AKS, to please go ahead and talk to us on strategies for putting funds into the Rotary Foundation, fundraising strategies for the Rotary Foundation. Over to you, sir. Our past district governor, Akeredolu, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, our district learning facilitator. I don't know who will be able to allow me to share my screen.
I think you have check under more, and I think you can hit that icon there. That's
yes, because what I'm seeing here is not allowing me. Yes, I click share, but they said the host isn't allowing multiple presenters, so you need to.
So let me make you the.
Okay, we make you the host now.
Yeah, yes, I'll make you the host. So when you're done, you can make me the host back, so I can share PAG Raheed zone too.
Okay, that's right. So let's go.
All right, I'll make you the host now. So you're the host now.
Okay, you can share now, sir.
Thank you. I seem to be having some challenges here.
Yes, we can see the screen now, just to make it full screen. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much, River District Governor. I hope you represent us well in Ghana. And yes, the topic for today is quite apt, fundraising for the Rotary Foundation. Times are hard now, and it's not easy to get people to share their disposable income, because the disposable income of most people is shrinking, and even the load that is on them is increasing. So it's quite a difficult one, a challenge to be able to get people to contribute to the Rotary Foundation on its own when they have basic necessities of life becoming more difficult to even fund. So we as Rotarians, we will have more work to do because the projects are there and we need to support the Rotary Foundation as much as possible. But now I've put together some tips that will help us in extracting funds from both Rotarians and non-Rotarians alike. Fundraising principles, and I've explained that one here. Whatever principle we choose, that principle should be effective. Because I see many people, many clubs approach me, they want to do this, they want to do this for the Rotary Foundation. I say, is it going to bring money? If it's not going to bring in funds for the Rotary Foundation, it's not effective, it's not useful. Whatever we do that is meant to raise funds, we must first show. There are some ideas I see that people try to import from Europe and America, which have a different culture altogether. I think a club president, called me and said he was trying to organize, a bike-a-thon that people will ride bikes. That's right. Very popular in Europe and America, but it's not part of our culture. You do this, it's not going to be effective. In the US, people will pay for you for every kilometer you run and so on and so forth. And but you bring that into a culture of Nigeria, it's not part of our culture. So you try to put that kind of program on, it's not going to be effective. So you need to think of ways of, things that will be effective, that will be able to raise money for the foundation. And then, even if it is effective, it needs to be efficient. I've seen people, clubs put in programs, they set up a dinner, or people, even the investiture programs that they spend 2 million to put together and they raise 500,000. That's very inefficient. If anything, you made a loss. And the Rotary Foundation encourages us to think about 25%. So if you want to raise $100, you should not spend more than $25 to raise $100, so that you can be able to have $75 that you actually eventually give to the Rotary Foundation. If you spend $100 and you raise $100, you are back at zero. So it needs to be efficient. Not only should it be effective, whatever you do should be efficient. And the third point I put in there is that it should be innovative. While some ideas out there, have been used again and again and again and again, they're losing their effect. And we should think outside the box, think of something new to do. If you go to Rotary Ideas, you will see a lot of ways people in other climes have tried to raise funds for the Rotary Foundation. Look at some of them, see whether you can domesticate it, whether you can modify it, whether you can adjust it to suit our peculiar circumstances. And I always use the project I did when I was district governor, the give me five, idea that we try to raise funds with people donating $5 to the Rotary Foundation. And the very innovative is thinking outside the box. Unfortunately, the COVID came and actually made a mess of the whole idea. But that is an example of something, thinking think outside the box, think of something new that could help to raise, and you'll be surprised how efficient that process is. Now, this slide actually I use when we are training presidents, because when you are trying to select a team who's going to help you, what do you want to do? You've decided on what you want to do. You want to build a team to actually help you out. Please choose people who have time. Trying to raise funds in these days is time consuming. You need to do a lot of hard work. You need to do a lot of road work to be able to get the results that you need. If you have somebody, even though the person is rich and is a member of your club and doesn't have time, he rarely comes to meetings and so on and so forth. You just want to put him as chairman of the Rotary Foundation or chairman of the fundraising committee, that project will fail because the person doesn't have time. You need somebody who does not take no for an answer. Many of you have seen or have experienced life insurance agents who visit you in the office and hammer on you until you subscribe to the insurance idea. Those are kind of people who can marketers who wants to market this idea, and they go from door to door, make telephone calls, and all the while in order to achieve the results you desire. And that is, what I mean when I talk about team selection. And when you're planning, you want to raise funds. Some clubs now have the advantage that in the past, they've embedded M.O.R.E in their club dues. So if your club, for example, you check the bylaws. If you have M.O.R.E embedded in the club dues, that's manna from heaven. And just make sure that you are sure that as people pay their dues, $100 is going to the foundation. And you just need to impress on your president. Once people are paying their dues, you make sure the money is transferred to the Rotary Foundation. So check your bylaws. And if it's not there, if you could convince your club, if you convince your board to put it in the bylaws of your club, that would be something of an advantage. And checking your club donor history. When you try to raise funds from your members, for example, you will know those people who donate and who donate regularly. There's no use you pressing on somebody who has not paid his dues or not paid her dues to try and donate to the Rotary Foundation. It's a waste of time. You know those people, those who have been giving before, they are those people who are likely to continue to give, and you try and approach those ones and actually market the idea of donations. And you set yourself goals. Give yourself goals. This is how much we want to raise it for you. Goals, you know what would be when we talk about SMART goals. Those are that challenging, that are achievable, that are measurable. And you can be able to now say, yes, how well are we doing? If you set yourself a 50-member club and you want to raise $50,000 for the Rotary Foundation in your Rotary year, how far are you now? We're in November now. At the end of the first half of the Rotary year, how far have you gone? You may need to rejig your efforts, re-strategize as to getting to your goals. And when you are targeting donors, I try to categorize donors into the small donor, the average donor, and the large donor. And the method that you use to actually solicit for funds from these people differ. And you need to be aware, if you use the technique that is good for a small donor and use it for a large donor, you are going to get almost nothing. So for the small donor, you see the list of things I've put in there. Auctions. That's the easiest way. You can auction goods, you can auction services, you can auction experiences. And one thing I tell presidents to actually do, when you approach companies and corporations and businesses in your community, you will discover that it is very difficult to get them to donate cash. That's very difficult. But they can donate goods. They can donate some of their services. If you go to a supermarket down the road and you tell them you want some contribution for the Rotary Foundation, they can't give you money. But I tell them, do you have any goods? Maybe you have some goods at the back of the store that is not moving, and they will readily dispose of you. And that to you is something you can auction. Some item that they have, and all stores have them. They are there at the back of the store. Maybe a new model has since come and people are not buying. Please, you say, yes, we will use it. And they are goods that are very good for auctioning. Services. Go to an airline will not give you money. Go to Airpeace, go to, any of these local airlines. They give you Lagos, Abuja, or Lagos, Benin, Lagos, Port Harcourt. That is some of their services. But you ask them to give you cash, they wouldn't give you. I remember sometime we were, wanted to do a project in my club and build some toilets. Went to Baja Paint and they were able to give us paints. We went to Lafarge to give us cement. Those are things that are easy to get. You go to Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola may not give you money, but they give you their products. I use it for an event. So that's what I mean by auctioning services, experiences. A hotel can give you, a weekend for two. It's easy and cheap for them to do, and you can get that one and you auction it in some of your events. And what kind of auctions? I've listed a few of the kind of auction. We all know the traditional auction in which, you bid, 10,000 naira, and then somebody then bids 15,000, and it goes on and on and on and on. But you can also be innovative. There are a few lists I put here. There are so many varieties of auction. The dot auction, for example, very exciting. We hardly use it here, and that's one you actually bid, you have a reserve price. This thing might cost, let's say, 10,000 naira. And you say, okay, you want to bid, you start with a very high bid, 30,000 naira. And nobody is taking it. And you'll be coming down and down. Usually for goods that are very attractive, an iPhone, a fridge, or something like that. And you having people watching the price go down. And as it goes down steadily and steadily and steadily, and it's a very exciting thing. You are playing, mind games with one another until you get to a price that somebody says, yes, I could go for it. Because if you don't go for it, somebody else will. And that's the excitement of the Dutch auction system. We are used to the American auction system, for example, which we use commonly in many of our events, in which somebody bids and then you add an additional amount, and then you are the person who is now in charge, and then it goes on and on and on. And the variety of the Chinese auction system, for example, it's a bit of a mixture between a raffle and an auction, and it's usually common in many fundraising activities. I don't see it much in Rotary, but in many other charities, they use the Chinese auction. That's in which you sell tickets or you sell raffles. You have the auction items right there on the stage in your event, and people buy raffles of 1,000 naira or tickets and so on and so forth. And they go and put it, you have a box in front of every item, and you go and put it. So if you like that fridge, for example, that you want, or the iPhone, you put more of your tickets there. You bought 10 tickets, you put 5 in this, you put 1 in this, you put 1 in that. And the more you put in that bucket, the higher your chances of winning that item. So that is why I call it a kind of midway between an auction and a raffle. I always ask people, what is the difference between an auction and a raffle? The main difference is that in a raffle, there's that element of chance, which is which makes it, quite exciting. But in the auction, you can bid and outbid any person if you have enough funds, and you can get something when you want it. But with a raffle, it's a little bit different. While with the Chinese raffle, the more you put in the box, of that item, the higher your chances. But there's still that element of chance, and that's what makes it quite exciting. You can do a live raffle or a silent raffle. The silent raffle you can do online, and people can just put something in the box and somebody announces it later. So many varieties of ways you can raise small funds, and these funds add up to a lot when you put them together, especially if you use things that are donated. You will see up there, I wrote donated, the things that you use for these auctions or raffles. Make sure it's not something you buy. There's a club, it's exactly my club that, made the error some time ago, and they wanted to do an auction, and the item costs 250,000, and they sold tickets of about 100,000 naira. Obviously, that is a heavy loss. So please don't buy items you use for auctions or for raffles. Try and get donated items. All your colleagues that went to Singapore, for example, said they to bring mementos, and there are some who have gone to Ghana now. You know, let them buy things and so on and so forth. You phone them and they bring, you know, items that you can actually use for auction, either in an event in your club or during the normal fellowship. So the ideas are there that you can raise funds in little bits that will help you to get to your target of your Rotary Foundation contribution. Now for the average donor, those are bread and butter issues, the M.O.R.E, the Paul Harris Fellow, and the major donor, you know, classification. For M.O.R.E, you know, that is the minimum we think every Rotarian should contribute. Every Rotarian, every year. You can do it in bits, you can do it, you know, in one fell swoop, and eventually, if you give yourself a target that every year you will always donate $100, and you do it every month or every fellowship, before you know it, you have actually reached 100, and it adds up. And before you know it, you can become a Paul Harris Fellow. And if you want to go for a Paul Harris Fellowship, immediately, it's $1,000, and now the district, I think our district governor has been gracious enough that you can, if you donate $500, it can be matched by the district by 500 points. You know the way the Rotary Foundation works in contributions to the annual program fund. You are given a point for every dollar that you contribute, and you can use those points to honor people, you know, as Paul Harris Fellows if you have more than $1,000. So there are many people who've donated a lot, and they are ready to give up the points that they've accumulated, and the district is using it to assist people to become Paul Harris Fellows. So when you donate at least $500, please inform the District Rotary Foundation Committee or the district governor, and you will match with 500 points for you to become a Paul Harris Fellow. And to become a major donor, that is handled by the Rotary Foundation at RI level. And they've also made it easier for Rotarians and non-Rotarians alike to become major donors. If you make a contribution of up to $5,000, all you just need to do then is to sign an undertaking, because they now think, yes, you know, you are almost there, and you sign an undertaking that you will contribute the remaining $500 in the next 3 years, and you will be given a major donor designation. And many people have used that, you know, as a route to become major donors. And so it's, all these are things that Rotarians should aspire to become. And now for the big, the big donors. It's a different set of things that you use when you want to approach big donors. I've written a few down in here. You don't do auctions, you don't do you know, raffles for big donors. These are big donors, the high-level major donors. People want to donate to the endowment fund, the bequest society or the legacy society, or those who want to become as club society members. You need to package your approach to them. These people are being approached by various other, their local, their community, their churches, their mosques, their alumni association, and everything. They are on their neck. So you as coming as Rotary is just one part of the pressure these people are on. So you need to approach it in a very methodical way. Personalized letters. You see, please don't send generic letters to big donors if you want big money from them. I get some of these kind of letters, and they go immediately into the dustbin. You see them, they write, you know, straight line, dear sir, stroke madam. You know that has just been sent to hundreds and hundreds of, people, and they don't even bother to know your name. Some even get to know your name, but they even misspell it, you know, meaning that they did not put a lot of thought in it. And it's those are the little things that big donors look at to see these people, you know, really, you know, trying to raise funds, or you want to get to the hearts of these people. Pay them personal visits, not alone. If you have somebody that could be a potential big donor to the Rotary Foundation, let us know at the district level. We'll be able to package. There are those who are quite convincing and who can be able to approach these people. And they usually like it when they need this package and that you actually honor them. And those are people you can actually arrange to have dinners with or luncheons with, and so on as well, to explain the Rotary Foundation, you know, principles, and try and get to them to be able to donate. Don't do dinners or luncheons for small donors. So I always warn people, they will come, they will eat your jollof rice, and they will go away, and you won't get anything. These are things you reserve for the big donors, so that your approach to big donors for donations must be properly structured. If you don't do that, you will miss out. And that is the way you get to the big donors. Yeah, these are some of the individual donor recognition that are available out there in the Rotary Foundation. The Rotary Foundation sustaining member, you know, those who contribute every year, every Rotarian every year are called Rotary Foundation sustaining member. The benefactors are those who contribute at least $1,000 to the endowment fund. You know, in the Rotary Foundation, you have three main funds. You know, you have the annual program fund, the endowment fund, and the Polio Plus fund. And those who donate to the endowment fund are called benefactors. The POHARE Fellow, the most popular of them all, it's those who donate at least $1,000 to the annual programs fund. Multiple POHAREs fund, yes. Once you have 1 sapphire, 2 sapphires, 3 sapphires, and on and on and on, until you have $9,000 to your name, you are a multiple POHAREs fellow. And the POHARE Society member is somebody who donates and also pledges to donate at least $1,000 every year to the Rotary Foundation. The Bequest Society, not very popular in our climes. We all think we are going to live forever. These are those who contribute or mention the Rotary Foundation in their will, that when they pass away, and we're all going to pass away, whether we like it or not. Nobody is going to live here forever, live in this world forever. And you have your assets, which you can pass on to the Rotary Foundation, and you just mention it in your will. When you now tell the Rotary Foundation, they come, they assess what you have for them, and if it's more than $10,000, you are now put as a member of the Bequest Society. Some people have found an easier way. There's an easier way now to become a member of the Bequest Society by putting the Rotary Foundation as the beneficiary of your life insurance package. You know, they call them the, I don't know what they use in insurance terms, you know, when you make your contribution, you pay the person that benefits, you know, it could be your spouse, it could be your children or whatever, but if you label it for the whole life insurance, not a term insurance, a whole life insurance in which there is amount that accrues to the Rotary, to your beneficiary, and you put Rotary Foundation as the beneficiary. If the amount that become accrued to the beneficiary when that insurance is due, it's more than $10,000, you are a member of the Bequest Society. And for those, the real big ones, who can have $1 million that is in their will dedicated to the Rotary Foundation, they even go higher and are now members of what they call the Legacy Society. That's a step higher than the bequest society. The major donor, we all know about that one. Those who contribute at least $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation, whichever fund that you put your money in, when the total is more than $10,000, you become a major donor. And it can go higher and higher, major donor level 1, level 2, level 3, and goes on like that. The Ashkelon Society are those who have contributed at least $250,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And it's quite important. I implore members to at least be a member of one of these places. The smallest is the Rotary Foundation Sustaining Member, and that's the least you can do for the Rotary Foundation. And at the club level, you can have a club aspiring to become 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club or 100% Paul Harris Society Club, those in which all the members contribute at least $1,000 every Rotary year. And then you have 100% Foundation Giving Club, those who contribute $100 at least to the Rotary Foundation every Rotary year. That means the average of what is contributed in the club is at least $100 per member to the Rotary Foundation. You have a subset of that. That's the every Rotarian every year club. Those are those who donate an average, or the club donates on average $100 to the annual programs fund. But the one above that, the 100% Foundation Giving Club, is to donation to any, either the Polio Plus or the endowment or whatever you donate to. It should be the average of at least $100. And that is what a club should aspire to, sometime during their course of activities. In closing, these are things that you should bear in mind. When people contribute, and I emphasize this to President, please honor your donors publicly. People like it. When people donate early, announce it in your meetings. When people become Paul Harris Fellow, splash their photograph in your bulletin and let them see it, let them be happy about it, and people look forward to this, honor or being honored publicly. Our district governor did a master stroke, for example, and quite an innovative thing, that he now decided to be honoring at the district level every Rotarian that contributed at least $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And I started it during the evening with the district governor, and you can see, I can tell you there are people who have told me they are looking forward to the next evening with the district governor because they want to contribute before that time. So honoring donors publicly encourage other people to want to donate. Forwarding your funds promptly to the Rotary Foundation account. In these clients, when exchange rates are changing every month, if your member or even a non-member contributes to the Rotary Foundation to the club's account, please transfer it immediately to the Rotary Foundation account. If it stays in your account and the month passes and the exchange rates changes, you may have issues or a fight in your hands with that donor. I remember as a district governor, I settled a few cases in which somebody donated $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation, and I was waiting for his Paul Harris Fellow pin, and that one was not coming. And they almost had a fight, and they came to me in the district office. And when, district governors have, privileged access to some areas in the my Rotary, and I checked this, and this man was credited with $994. That means by the time the money was transferred, the exchange rates has changed, and the money credited was $900. And I told the president, it is your fault, sir. The club would need to get from his purse and contribute the difference, because this chap donated at the time $1,000, but because you held on to it, you now made it amount to lose value. So please forward the funds, or better still, just contribute directly to the Rotary Foundation account and use the receipt or evidence of payment and send it, to UDWAC at the Rotary office, and everything will be done for you. Then promote recurring giving. When I checked this morning, I think there are only 3 or 4 people that are Rotary Direct. That means that you use your credit card, usually a dollar-denominated credit card that you can register on my Rotary, that they should be deducted certain amount at regular times. It could be every month, it could be every quarter, it could be every 6 months, it could be once a year, and it could be as small as $100 or as large as any amount that you want. And they'll be coming regularly. And those are people who are in that list of Rotary Direct. And if you have it, those are people that are the backbone of the Rotary Foundation, because when all else fails, when people fail, and to contribute, these people are always there to support the Rotary Foundation. And the same thing goes with the Paul Society. Those who are pledged to donate $1,000 every year to the Rotary Foundation. Like I said, they are the backbone of the foundation. These are people that Rotary Foundation can plan ahead and know that this amount is going to come in next Rotary year, and this is what we'll use it for. The others, yes, they come, but they are not guaranteed. So the people who are members of the Rotary Foundation are treated as, God sent in the Rotary Foundation circle. And lastly, keep the Rotary Foundation in the consciousness of your members always. I plead with presidents that, yes, there should be no event in your club, fellowship, board meeting, retreats, and so on and so forth. There should be an item on your agenda about the Rotary Foundation. How much is our contribution going? What are we doing with our district grant? What are we doing with how far has our global grant gone? Always talk about the Rotary Foundation in any events or in any time you are doing any Rotary activity. It keeps it in the consciousness, and people always remember to contribute to the foundation with that in mind. I think I don't know how well I'm doing with time, but I think I've exhausted my time. I thank you very much for listening to me, and I think this will have given us ideas as to how to contribute more to the Rotary Foundation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, our past district governor, Akeredolu. We appreciate you. Thanks, and thank you once again. Still stay around with us. Let's take the second presenter, and then we'll be able to take all the questions together at the end of the next presentation, which will be handled by one of our district leaders, a past district treasurer, and a past president of Rotary Club of Bagada South, past Assistant Governor Saheed Raheed. Okay, are you there?
Yes, sir. Please, can you make me the host, sir? Can you kindly make me the host, sir?
Oh, that's for PDG Akeredolu. Please return him as host, please, sir.
Okay.
While we are waiting for that technical adjustment, if you have your questions, just okay, it's done. Okay, please put the slides of PAG Raheed on. Okay. Over to you, PAG Raheed Saheed.
Good morning,
Good morning, sir.
Governor, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is PDG Raheed Said from Bagada South. Here to present SMO Foundation Grants. Please, can you move to the next slide? As we all know that Rotary Foundation it gives us the opportunity to get support for our humanitarian projects for scholarship and also for vocational training. And as we all know, Rotary Foundation is also the Art of Rotary. So under Rotary Foundation, we have two major grants that we can access. The first one is global grant, and the second one is district grants. And the district grants, all of us, we are used to that. But the one that we are going to talk about today is on global grants. And as we all know, global grants support large international projects with long-term sustainable outcomes in one or more Rotary areas of focus. And as we all know, we have 7 areas of focus. And for the district grants, we know that one is for our smaller scale short-term projects, which majority of clubs have been assessing at our district level year in, year out. Next slide. Now for global grants, like I've said before, is for large-scale sustainable projects in Rotary areas of focus. And under that, we have promoting peace, fighting disease, supporting education, supporting by giving out or through disbursements of credit to market men and women. And for us to be able to access global grants, our projects must be minimum of $30,000 US. Anything less than that, it's not categorized as a global grant. So for you to start, you have to start from 30,000 USD for you to get it matched by the Rotary Foundation. We have some key components for the global grants. One of it is the need of assessment, which helps also to measure goals. Community must take ownership of that project. Then it must have a sustainability in it. If you don't have these components, then your global grant will not be approved by the Rotary Foundation. Now, like I said, for the components, we have the need of assessment. This need of assessment is very, very key and very, very important for us to do. We have to conduct a need of assessment for any project that we want to do. And there's also a form that we need to fill, because these are part of the document that we are going to submit when we are submitting our proposal through the Global Grants platform. So we need to do this needs of assessment. This helps us to plan our global grant projects, and it helps us to get the actual needs of our community, not a situation where we just come up with a project and believe that, okay, this project is going to solve this community. We need to interact with them. We need to have interviews with them. We need to have meetings with them to really know what they really need in that community. Because if you give them what they don't need, already you know that that project will be abandoned. And the Rotary Foundation doesn't support projects that will be abandoned at the end of the day. Now, also another key component of a global grant is getting international partners. The international partners can be a Rotary club. They can also be the international districts. That's district outside our own districts. And for us to get these international partners, because they are very, very important for our global grant, there are different partners that we can get. We can get them through West African Project Fairs. So I will say that currently today, West African Project Fair is starting today, and clubs that registered one way or the other, they may likely get a partner that will support their whatever proposal they have with them that they want to showcase at this West African Project Fair. Also, we can get it through Rotary international conventions. When we go for our international conventions, we can meet international partners there also. We can also get through Rotary Friendship Exchange members, through Rotary Youth Exchange students, through the Rotary website, Rotary Ideas, and also Rotary Showcase. Under these Rotary Ideas, there are lots of projects that you can just get from this platform that you can adapt to suit your own, the assessment that you have done within your community. Also, our current and past district leaders can also help us to also get international partners. Rotary alumni, Rotary Action Group members. Currently, what we are enjoying through Rotary Family Days, also through our meeting international partners that are supporting us every year. Also, we can also get through friends all over the world. So these are partners that we can that can support our proposals that will help us to get our projects approved when we start uploading our projects on the platform, the global grant platform. Now, another component that is very, very important is also the support from the district DDF, that is called District Designated Fund. This, before you even start uploading your proposal on the global grant platform, you have to discuss this with the District Rotary Foundation Grants Committee chair and also with the district governor. Because if you don't discuss with them and you get approval for your global grant projects and you don't have any DDF already planned from the district, then you are going to likely have a problem. So you need to discuss with the DG and also the global grant, the Rotary Foundation Global Grant Share, that you are looking for a 5,000 or 10,000 from the district DDF to support your global grants, because they need to plan for this in the funds that they have from, the DDF funds that they have. Because if you don't, if it's not planned, then automatically you can't get. So you have to put this as part of your plans by discussing with the district leaders, the DG concerning this. Well, the next one, which is the area that all of us needs to start looking at, is how to apply for the global grant. So the first thing is for you to have registered on My Rotary. If you have not done that, you have to do that. You have to register on My Rotary. So once you register on My Rotary, you have to log in. Once you log in, under My Rotary, there is a menu called Participate. So you have to click that Participate. Then once you click that, then it will bring other menus out. Then under that, we also see Grant Center. So you click on the Grant Center, so it will take you to another platform. Another platform, once you just scroll down, you will see Apply for a Global Grant. So you have to click that also. Then it takes you to another, it takes you to another window. And under that window, you will now see Apply. So you click on that Apply. Once you click on that Apply, then we have to follow all the necessary steps under that process. Next slide, please. Now here, under this application process, this is the area that all the plannings that you have been planning concerning your global grants, all the write-ups, this is where you have to fill all those information. The first step is it will ask you for the basic information. What is the name of your project? You have to put the name of the project there. What types of projects are you planning? Under this question, you have 3 parts there. The first one is humanitarian project, the second one is vocational training, while the last one is scholarship. These are the 3 things that you will see under that, the types of project that you are planning. The first one, which is humanitarian project, this one addresses the community needs, which you also need to show that it's sustainable and it's also have a measurable, outcomes. Because all these, there are questions that will be asked for all this as you are, uploading your projects, your write-ups on this Global Grants platform. And let me just say that when you are doing this, or when you are coming up with your Global Grant proposal, please make sure that whatever kind of Global Grant that you are writing, you have professionals or those that understand the kind of project that you want to upload on this platform. Because there are some technical questions that you will need to answer, which you as a person alone will not be able to answer. So you need other people that are versed in that area to support you. So when you are constituting your committee, make sure that you have people that can assist you when that time comes for some questions that you may not be able to, answer as the leader of the committee. So this one is also very important. Then for vocational training, this is to build skills within a community by supporting a team of professionals that will travel abroad for training. While the last one, which is scholarship, that one is for the funding of international graduate level study by someone taking a career within any of the area of focus. So these are the 3 types of projects that you can apply through the Global Grants. So the next level is to select the primary host. So you are going to be the primary host, your club, yourself. Then also the international contacts, that one is there also. Once you have your international contacts, you have to key in the names of that person, their districts, so that they can be, once you submit your appraisal, they can also see it from their own end and also do any amendments from their own, or also add their own committee members. So at least you can add minimum of 4 or 5 committee members, depending on how many committee members that you want to create as part of your project. So the next step is the project overview. This is where you explain the project that you are writing. You give them all the important information about that project. Why the step 4, that one we ask you, okay, this is your project, under which areas of focus do you have it? So you have to also click that. You should know the area of focus that your project is going to solve. Then the next one is measuring success. Under this, there are options that you can select. And under these options, you will have measures. It may be number of people with the access to improve success. If your project is in the area of drinking water or in the area of sanitation. So some of the measures that you can click under these options are either number of people with access to improve these sorts of drinking water, or the number of people with access to improved sanitation facilities. Then under it, you have collection method. How are you going to collect all this information? Is it through focus group or through interviews or through meetings? Then it's going to ask you about frequency of this measure. Is it going to be every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, or every year? And then it's also going to ask you the beneficiaries. the number of beneficiaries for this project. So you also need to determine the total number of people in the community that are going to benefit the particular project. Then the next slide, also you have location and dates. These are sub-headings under the global grant menu where you are supplying all your information about your project. So these are sub-headings, so that's why I've listed them. So the next one is to ask about your location and dates. The location of the project, where are you going to start the project? And also, what is the date that you are going to start the project, and when is the project going to end? So all these dates you have to supply. Then the next one is also participants. Who are the participants for this project? Who are the partners? You know, you have Rotarians, you have community members. You may also have other partners outside Rotary to support your projects. Why the next step is budget. And under this budget, this is where you come up with the total cost to finance the global grants. So you need to list all the line items for your, under your budget. Why the next step is funding. This funding part, the budget and the funding part, I'm still going to show some examples on under this. So the funding part, this is how you are going to achieve the funding of the project. Are you going to give cash? Is your international partner going to support with cash? Are you going to get the DDF from your district? Also, is your international partner going to support with their district DDF also? And also, at the end of the day, the support from the Rotary Foundation. And that one is a minimum of 15,000 USD, at least to support your global grant. That's why you have a minimum of 30,000 USD before your project can be classified to be a global grant. So all these are very, very important when you are planning your project. Why the next one is sustainability. This sustainability is very key, because if your project is not sustainable, automatically the project will not be approved. Because you need to show that your project is going to be, is going to last for a longer time. There are people that will be in charge that will take care of the project after you have finished with the project. Once you hand it over to them, there should be people that will be in charge, that will be managing it for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years and above. So underneath, we have project planning. This project planning, there are questions underneath that you also have to answer. So that's why I said you need to have some technical people in the area of the project that you are writing. They ask you to describe the community needs that your project will address. All this, you get it through the needs assessment that you have done. Then they will ask you how did your project team identify these needs of these needs. Truly, with a proper need of assessment, you should be able to get solutions to this, answer to this. Then how are your members of the benefiting community involved in these involved in finding solutions? At least through all the interviews, the meetings that you have done with them, you have in the process discussed about how to solve the challenges in that community. So all this will form part of the need assessment that you have done. Then the next one is how are the community members involved in planning the project? When you are planning a project, you have to involve the community members because it's their area. They understand the terrain of their environment. So you will need their support. There are some things that the community members will do for you that will help you in achieving your, projects in their community. Then the next one is project implementation. This project implementation, this part is where you will describe the different activities of your projects. For example, if you are planning what's it called? You are trying to build a toilet and also provide water with it. you need to explain under this implementation how you are going to start from foundation level to the finishing of the project. How many weeks is it going to take? Is it going to be 3 months? Is it going to be 14 weeks, 30 weeks? And each week, what are those activities that you are going to be doing during the project implementation? So all this, you need to state it in the project plan or in your proposal, because they're also important. They are part of what the CADA officer will look at when they're assessing your proposal. Then the last one is to summarize, summarize each steps of your project implementation with dates or by weeks, which I've also explained. Then after this, then all the necessary documentation. If there are agreement that you have signed with the community, this is where you have to submit the document. If you have designs for the project, you have to also submit those designs. After this, the last lap is the authorization. And this authorization is where you have the president of the club, the president of the international partner, the district Rotary Foundation chair for the district and also for the international partner, and other leaders will have to authorize before your project can, you can say that finally you have been able to submit your project. Before you get to this level, there are various questions that the CADA officer will ask. For example, if you don't understand some of the things that you have in your proposal, they will send questions to you, or they will ask for explanation on them. So whoever that is going to be the host of your project must be somebody that always checks his mails every day. Because this is very important, because they won't call you. They will only send their questions or clarification to your mail that you have supplied. So whoever that is going to be in charge should be checking his or her mail every time to see whether there is any information that they need to take care of concerning their global grants. So it's very key and very important. The next slide. So that is the next slide. Okay, that's where we have club and district officers that have different levels of access to your global grant applications. And also because they have to approve, so they will have access to your global grant. So the people that have access to this platform are the presidents, the primary contact, the Rotary Foundation chair for both the host and international, also the club president for both host and international, and also the primary contact for both host and international. And the final approval is now the district governor of both the host and international partner. Once the district governors of both host and international partners signed off on your project, then you should clap for yourself that, yes, finally, funds is coming for your project. That shows that you have been able to convince them that your project is going to last. The list of assessment that you have done, it shows that you have been able to, follow the right path to help you achieve your, to help you get your proposal get approved. Then the next one, what next? Next slide, please. So what next? After your completed application has been submitted, reviewed by the regional Rotary Foundation grant officer or any other staff, if they require additional information, I've said that they will send it to your mail, the mail of the contact person for the host. So that's why I said you have to be checking your mails regularly to see if there is any information for you to, take care of concerning your global grant. And also, if there is a need for them to recommend other ways to enhance your project, they will also tell you what you can do to support your global grants. Next slide. Now, for grants eligibility, sorry, the grant may be declined if it doesn't meet the global grants requirement. Secondly, the regional grant officer will explain why and also suggest changes you will need to make them, get to that level of acceptance by them. And the reason why most grants are always denied, one is either it doesn't meet any of the areas of focus, or the project has high risk of failure, or at the same time, they cannot sustain the project. Like I said, to sustain the project, you need to give them the plans. Or now you think that the project will be sustained by the community that we are giving the projects to. If you are unable to convince them that this project, they will be able to sustain this, or you show the evidence of how they are going to achieve that sustainability, it may also affect the grant. So all this, you need technical, you need support from different people that can give you different ways of making sure that the project is sustainable. Then if the project is benefiting another organization other than Rotary, then that also can also affect the grants. Then if you didn't do the community need of assessment very well, if it was not conducted very well, because it will show when you are filling the form, that also can also affect your proposal. So all these things, you need to sit down with your members to really look at this and answer each question very well. Now, this is an example of a global grant project budget. Now, this one is for a water and sanitation budget, building of 12 bedrooms and also a borehole. You see that I have different line items for different purpose. The first line item is a block of 12 bedrooms. That's the building itself. It depends on what you are going to have in that building. So I have a budget of 37.4 million here. Then for the borehole, you have a budget of 6 million. For signage on the tank and toilet wall, you have a budget of 1.5. Generator to power the pumping machine and also all other things that will be within that project. You have to give a budget of it. You have to put the amount there, 950,000. Then if you are doing hand wash training, you have to get professionals that have the understanding on how to train children on how to do the hand wash training. So you have to pay them. So they'll give you their bills. So we have a budget of 4 million here. Then you have to also have a contingency. That's 10% of the total budget of your grants. So you have to have 10% of that as your contingency. So this is in case if other things, if there may be in future, there are price increase or there are other things that you did not envisage that happened. So you can apply for this and use the contingency funds to take care of this. Then you convert it. Currently, last month, the exchange rate was 1,668. But I think as at this month, it's not far from this also. So when you divide it, you see that we have about $32,912.20. So you can see that this budget is above 30,000 US dollars. So it already qualified for global grants. Then for you to finance or to fund this $32,912.20, this is how we go about the funding. In the past, when you donate cash, Rotary Foundation always supports with 100%, but it has changed now. So if you donate cash now, they don't support anymore. Then from the DDF, if you get any DDF from the district, your district and also your international partner, they also give their own DDF. In the past, it used to be 50% of the DDF, but it has been increased to 80% now. So when you get 55,000 USD from your district, the Rotary Foundation will support with 80% of that 5,000, which is 4,000. Then, like I said, Rotary International, they support with minimum of 15,000, from 15,000 and above. By the time you add your cash and also the DDF from both your club and from the international partner, so the difference is what the Rotary Foundation will add at the end of the year to meet up with the total budget plan that you have. They will not give you more than what you have in your budget. They will only give you exactly what you have proposed to them. So this is how to fund your global grants. So you need to find out from your international partner what they are getting from their district at DDF, and also what they are going to give from their club, whether they are going to support with cash. But some partners may not support with cash, but they may have enough DDF that can help you to support your global grant. So this is the reason why international partners are also very important for your global grants. So this is how to fund your global grants for for any of your projects under global grants. Next slide. For global grants, clubs can combine and work together to do a project and also fund it together. So it's not necessary that just a club alone. A club may have an international partner, then you can also get other clubs to support in terms of funding if you are not getting enough funding. So other clubs can also support. Even international partners, you can get multiple of clubs under the same districts that will support your project. So there is a way how they get get all the DDF together. And also if they are supporting with cash also, they know how to get all those things together and they put it under your project to support your global grants. Next slide. Well, the next slide, the slide this is talking about the 7 areas of focus that your global grant project can fall under. So we all know this. Next slide, please. Now, next slide is some of the projects that you can have under the 7 areas of focus. Under the peace building and conflict prevention, you can have scholarship for students for a master's degree in peace study. Under the disease and prevention treatment, you can have yearly we have Rotary Family Health Days. You can also have other health projects that can fall under this also. Under maternal and child health, provision of neonatal incubators to hospitals, water and sanitation and hygiene, sinking of boreholes and toilet facilities. Under basic education and literacy, you can have e-library, you can donate school equipment and other things under education. Therefore, community and economic development, that is where you can have your microcredit scheme for petty traders. While under environment, you can do waste management, you can come up with a global grant project under waste management. So all this, you can combine them under one project, maybe 1, 2, 3 of this area of focus, or you can just just pick one of any of these 7 areas of focus, and then you write your global grant project on it. Then this is the life cycle of a Rotary grant. From the draft stage where you come up with all the proposals. Once you fill all this, then the next stage is for authorization, where we have the president's the Rotary Foundation share of both the host and international partner, the district governor of both host and international partners, where they have to authorize the project. Once they authorize, then it gets submitted. Once it gets submitted, it will be reviewed by the Rotary Foundation cadre officer. And once they are okay with all the explanation and with everything that you have on your proposal, then it gets approved. And once it gets approved, the next thing is for you to implement the project. And at the end of the day, once you finish the project, then you have to report back to Rotary Foundation. You have to give account of what you have, account of the fund that you have collected. So this is just the life cycle of Rotary grants for us to also see. Next slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Past Assistant Governor Saheed Raheed. That was an interesting one. Certainly we cannot get all the information we need at during online seminar, but using this opportunity to appeal and also invite all of you to the Rotary Foundation seminar coming up on Thursday, the 7th of November, this coming next week Thursday, so that you can even get more. But it's going to be a physical presentation on other aspects and various aspects of Rotary Foundation, which will also mention some of the topics that we discussed today. Well, those are the two topics we want to cover this morning. I guess we may have some questions. How do we have access to these presentations? Immediately at the end of this session, we'll be able to share it on the various platforms or through your irresistible presidents of the various clubs. But if you don't, yes, through the presidents and other platforms, we'll certainly share the slides. So questions, comments is now encouraged. Just indicate, either put your questions on the platform or you raise your hands. Then there's a question here by DMB Group. Who verifies the budget and approves the budget at the district level? Which budget are you talking about? You want to clarify that? Which budget? Who verifies the budget and approves the budget at the district level? DMB Group. Do you want to make some clarification on that question? Oh, project budget. The project budget is yours. It is you, in conjunction with the there must be a committee for the whatever project you want to do. You look at it together, and then you take it to your Rotary Club board to look at it, and then you approve as appropriate. But what is important is that when you have a budget, the funding and the budget must be the same. If you put prepare your budget in Naira, you convert at the current exchange rate, and the two must tally. Any other question? Please indicate. Put your questions on the platform. In the chat room, or you raise up your hands. Okay, Bridget Okonofua, please ask your question. Bridget.
Thank you, my PDG and every PDG in the house and fellow Rotarians. Good morning.
Yes.
My PDG, I just want to ask for clarification of what does a club participating in a project or partnering in a project, what do they get? Because the reason I asked that question is because it's been We've just concluded the golf kitty, and then we have done a couple of projects this year. And because we know that other clubs can partner to do these projects, we had approached clubs. And it seemed to be a bit difficult to sell these projects to the club because of what I think or what I see as them not understanding what they stand to get. As a matter of fact, one of the clubs asked me, are we going to share the money that is coming in? And questions like, what do we even stand to get partnering with, in this project? So I want you to, clarify here what club stands to get in partnering with other clubs to do project, because I should expect that clubs should be excited to be part of any project you propose to them, if they know or are clear about what what comes to them as a club, because we're doing a project for the Rotary Foundation or project to help humanity, we expect that other clubs should be excited to be part of it. But if they do not understand why they should be part of it, I think it makes it difficult for us to sell the projects to other clubs. So can you please clarify on that, PDG Rashid? Thank you.
Yes, thank you,
PDG Rashid. Okay, yes.
Thank you. Well, see, clubs, we have a lot of benefits to at least derived from partnering with each other. One, in terms of partnering, you help your community. That's one of the benefits. The second one is that at the end of the day, when you are asked to submit your reports, both clubs can, independently, submit that same project to the districts. Then others, when you are inviting other club members to come and partake in your project, you also need to let them see the other benefit that they are likely going to derive from it in terms of, okay, what will that benefit, do in your community? Because a lot of clubs, they believe that if you're asking them to come and support a project, they also need to be part and parcel of that project from the start to the end. Because some may feel that, okay, in terms of generating funds for that particular project, they may feel that, okay, at the end of the day, there may likely be some, let's say, balances that they feel that, okay, they're likely going to share. Meanwhile, for you to get a funds to promote a project, you are not supposed to even keep any funds. You are supposed to, spend that funds on that project. So you need also to show to them that, look, this project, the fund that we are spending from all the partners is going to this project. And at the end of the day, the community will be the beneficiaries of this projects. So once they're able to understand that, I don't think that will be issue in partnering with you.
Thank you, my PDG. Thank you, my PDG. I don't think I've really I understand what you're saying, because we're talking about raising funds for the Rotary Foundation, and the money that is raised, for instance, yes, money has to be spent on projects. But if we go out to raise money for the Rotary Foundation, are we supposed to spend all the money raised for the projects, or that the money is supposed to be shared amongst the clubs, participating clubs?
No, if it is for Rotary Foundation, is it towards donating
Can
to
I come in here, please?
Okay, sir.
I think I understand what my Rotarian was trying to do. The clubs pulled together to actually do an activity to raise funds for the foundation. I think I'm correct. And now the money is coming in. Yes, who gets credit for the money raised, and how is it being shared? I think that is the issue.
My PDG, yes.
Yeah, so I think there are two ways. It's either you have actually decided on how the money that comes in is going to be raised to the credit of clubs. And there are sometimes the big donors for that fundraising activity, the money is credited in their name, not to the club, but it's credited in their name. But little donations can now be done, and a participant that makes the donation is affiliated to one particular club, and the credit goes to that club. And it just comes not in the name of an individual, but on the name of the club. So that should have been agreed at the beginning, either that they said it's equally shared equally, especially the small donations. But the advice is that for big donations, if you somebody came to your golf tournament and donated $10,000, for example, yes, it should go to that person's name. If the person says he wants to affiliate it with one club, fine. If it does not want to affiliate with that club, the thing is credited in the name of District 9112. So there are various ways it can be designated, either as the person himself, the donor himself, or the club, or the district. I don't know whether I able to explain.
Yes, my PDG, that's very clear. Thank you so much. And I also heard the PDG Rashid say that the other clubs can also present that same project as a project that they have done. Am I correct, my PDG?
Yeah, yes, they can present it. The issue now comes in that on my Rotary, which club is now listed as having contributed, so because the Rotary Foundation, in everything will want the money linked to one particular club. If it is not, it will just be put in as contribution from District 9112. But if somebody contributes, for example, and he wants it in his name, and the usually advisor for big donors, put it in their name, and is a honorary member of Rotary Club of Victoria Island East, a honorary member of Rotary Club of Ikoyi Metro, a honorary club of Lekki Phase 1, I think, or Lekki Metro. I think those are the clubs that's why that golf tournament, because I heard about it.
Yes, sir.
So yes, the donors, and if you have donors, will have been affiliated with a particular club. If the president of Lekki Golden brought in a member that donated, yes, the thing will be listed in that person's name, but now as a honorary member of Rotary Club of Lekki Golden. If it came in through Victoria Island East, yes, it would be for that person's name as a honorary member of Rotary Club of Victoria Island East. That's how the thing goes.
What if it comes in, sir, as a club, not an individual in the club?
Oh, as a club?
Yes.
Yeah, if the club donated to the foundation.
If the club donated, if the club supported the event, if it is the club, not a member in the club, if it's the club.
I think that's expenditure you are talking about, not contribution. Yes, it costs you $1 million to put the event together, and clubs contributed 200,000, 300,000. Yeah, you list it as the projects you've done. And when the president is having his account, for example, yes, 250,000 went to the golf projects and so on and so forth. That's part of it. So you can list it as part of the projects that you did. But what happens to the money that comes in? I think that is the one that's usually contentious. There's a lot of arguments, especially if it's not been agreed beforehand. And that kind of templates, makes it easy for you to, okay, money comes in for the foundation, this is how much, this is where it goes.
Thank you, my PDG.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bridget. That's very interactive. Do we have other questions, comments? Questions or comments? Questions, comments? Well, in the absence of any other one, I don't know whether PAG Uyishuobe is still online.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, please give us the closing remarks and help us thank everybody.
Thank you very much.
PAG is our Deputy District Learning Facilitator. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to specifically thank our PDG and PAG Raheed for very well rendered speeches. We have learned so much today, despite the short notice, despite the very, very short notice. So I want to really appreciate you, and I want to also thank our distinguished Rotarians for your time. You said 1 hour, but we're almost 2 hours here seated and still listening. It's like we shouldn't go. These speeches are something that some of us have not heard before, and I want to believe that we have taken some things back to our clubs. Rotary Foundation is something that we cannot toy with. Is it to do projects? Even if a club cannot afford to do a project in a year, when once you key into Rotary Foundation, whether through global grants, whether through district grants, you will have something done in your club. So thank you for this privilege of sitting together with you. Our DJ is not here now, but I want to also thank him for giving us this platform. And I want to also request that same time next month we will gather here again for yet another topic that will refresh us, that will educate us, and give us more knowledge to work the Rotary work. Thank you very much. Thank you, my
thank
chair.
you very much, sir, madam. We're going to have it as usual, first Saturday of every month, 8 to 9. This is an advance notice for all of us. We normally have it first Saturday of every month, and it's going to run through till the end of this Rotary year. So keep it in your diaries so that at least when you see the notice, you quickly log on and join us for the next session in December. Thank you once again. God bless you all and have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.